Hey, hi guys, this is Akash Verma. So in the first video of this series, the link should be somewhere around up here. We talked about the overview of DigitalOcean Cloud. We talked about the products it has to offer, Droplets, Kubernetes, along with the database services, storage offerings, networking, etc. There's a lot of developer tools and monitoring options out there too. If you haven't seen the first video, do check out the link. Effectively, DigitalOcean is an infrastructure provider, right? It's an infrastructure as a service provider. You can use it to design a wide variety of solutions. Some of these solutions which are ready-made, purpose-built, or kind of pre-built, things like WordPress, Ghost blogs, or cPanels, etc., are available in the marketplace as a one-click app, which you can just install on a simple machine. And the pricing is extremely transparent, and you can just go and check that out, whatever based on the pricing tag based on your needs. So let's get started with the DigitalOcean Cloud. We are going to do a quick walkover of the interface, and we will look at all the options it has to offer with respect to working with DigitalOcean Cloud. So we'll get started. So this is how it looks. I'm just going to go start logging in. And it supports all sorts of social sign-on. You can do enterprise integrations if you need to, and I'm not too sure about that, but I've just used my personal account to set up on DigitalOcean Cloud. Now this is how it looks. This is how the workspace is, and this is pretty much the interface. As you can see, it's extremely minimalistic. There's not a lot of clutter. There's not a lot of services to search around for. Everything that you need is on the left-hand side in this space. So we'll quickly hover them all around. So the first thing you can do is just create a new project. A project is just a logical name. You can consider it as a resource group, or you can just consider it as a logical abstraction of infrastructure services. Then we'll go to the offerings it has. The first offering it has is called apps. And this is a very recent offering. This is a platform as a service, and it effectively asks you to code in the language you are familiar with. Just put it in GitHub, and then they're going to detect the app, do the build for you, and just the app can be deployed. It's really quick, and if you have one of your portfolio websites, static websites, you can just have them deployed free of cost on this. The next thing, which is probably the most widely used option, is Droplets. Droplets are like virtual machines. You can create droplets, and we'll look at the options to create infrastructure in the next video. We'll go over Droplets, Kubernetes, databases in the next video and just see how detailed they are. Just to give a quick glimpse, you can just click on create droplet, and it's going to take you through a simple set of questions, very standard. You can create, you can choose the type of operating system, and then you can just select the pricing option, choose the optimization, whether you want a dedicated CPU optimized or not. So that's effectively all you need to do. Couple of more options, and you can just create a droplet with a simple interface. Then you can move forward, and then you have Kubernetes, which again, as we talked in the last video, master plane is free. Control plane pricing is included in the starting price, and you get pre-configured networking. You get a lot of automated and performance matrix, and load balancers and persistent storages are integrated with the cluster itself. Volumes are pretty much disks that you can use to associate or disassociate with any droplet. You can effectively create a block volume, and you can use it to move around your data. For instance, if you're working on a project where you have a lot of data and you want to move it around with different forms of compute, or just have it as a backup, you can use this. Then we have databases, and there's all sorts of database options available with DigitalOcean. For instance, there's MongoDB version 4.4, there's Postgres, all 3, 4, 11, 12, 13, MySQL and Redis supported. All you need to do is you can create a database cluster, and very similar to creation of droplets, it's going to ask you a couple of options, and you should be able to create a database cluster just very quickly. Spaces are object storages. These are effectively things that you can manage. These are similar to S3 buckets. You can use it to manage any sort of objects. They can be files, images, any kind of data which is probably non-traditional, is not having a great fitment into the existing RDBMS or NoSQL solution. So you can use this. It's extremely cost efficient. There's a container registry available, which is actually free in case you want to use a private container registry. There's more advanced option, obviously. You can create a container registry to connect and integrate with Kubernetes as it is mandatorily required, and you can just check the storage used, and all sorts of operational metrics are available. I don't have any container registries created, and we are going to look at the creation pieces in the next next video, which will be focused on infrastructure. Going forward, images. We'll just check what images are. Now, images are snapshots, backups. So if you have a droplet, for instance, running, and you can just have images, either pre-configured images. For example, you want to package some of your offerings and you want to build a version which you can just quickly deploy, very similar to a one-click option in DigitalOcean, or something like an AWS AMI. You can use it here. It also enables a lot of backup management, so you can enable while creation of droplets, and we'll look again this in the next video, to enable automatic backups, and those backups would come up here. Monitoring is pretty much all sorts of networking is everything related to networking. You have domains where if you want to have any sort of custom domain, you can just enter and you can associate with DigitalOcean. There's static IPs, floating IPs, load balancers, virtual private clouds, firewalls, all of the basic standard stuff which are required to work with infrastructure provider. They are available. Then we are going to be moving to monitoring. One of the good things I like about DigitalOcean is that I feel the data center is in Bangalore, which is something that you can probably just see in networking here. It's somewhere here. Let me just check. So yeah, so this is in Bangalore. So I have observed that it is extremely fast, and it works pretty nice in India if you're working in India. There are obviously a lot of different other data centers, and they are widely distributed across the world. They have different data centers. Going to monitoring. Now, I don't have a lot of services created, hence I wouldn't have any sort of monitoring data available. However, you can create resource alerts. There's all sorts of options available. You can customize on pricing, you can customize based on load, and you can be alerted for n number of scenarios. There's a agent which is installed, which is you can just check in case you want this to be enabled. You can install the DigitalOcean Matrix agent, and it will provide you detailed instructions. Going finally over to the settings tab. Settings is pretty much just personal information, security information, and any sorts of referrals that you have done. Billing obviously talks about all sorts of billing availability and your bills to date, and it will have your credit card information and all the invoices. And finally, APIs are effectively all your access tokens, your PATs, which enable you to either connect to a service or connect to container registry and things like that. So that effectively is pretty much what DigitalOcean in a nutshell is about. It has all these services, these interfaces. The UI is extremely feature rich. It's extremely intuitive too. Under the profile section, you can also manage and create a team in case you're working in a team environment. And you can have all sorts of secure single sign-on, GitHub, Google sign-on available. That's extremely fancy. What else do we look about here? That's pretty much it, right? It doesn't have extensively large number of options as I would imagine AWS or Azure to have, or even Google Cloud for that matter. But effectively, it is an infrastructure provider. That is not the forte that DigitalOcean has. So we'll just take a pause here. Yep. Thank you guys for watching that. In the next video, I'm going to be going much deep. I'm taking it slow purposefully. In the first video, I've looked at the overview, the products, the offerings, and the things you can do. And in this video, you have seen how the interface looks and what are the options that you have to play around with. I would suggest to think around a scenario, probably design a website or a simple web application or a mobile application, or have a backend for any kind of service as a running as an API. And then what we can do in the next video is we can go step by step, service by service, and see how it spans out. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Cheers. Do and subscribe the channel in case you have liked my content. Thank you.